I just wanted to share a massive breakthrough that I just had. Okay, so anybody who knows me quite intimately, I've had, and I've actually posted on here, I've had different conversations around like the dimensions of monogamy, polyamory, and that sort of thing. And today it came up in a very potent way. And I was like really settling into that. And I was thinking, like, what does this actually mean to me? What was I giving to the vessel known as polyamory as an engenderment? And what was I giving monogamy as an engenderment? And I was seeing that I was being double-minded, and I was exalting, in a way, polyamory to say, oh, but polyamory gives me freedom. I get to do this, I get to do that. I can be, I can just, be as I am. And I have different people who kind of just do these different things, yada, yada. Which is putting the power in the hands of the engenderment or the vessel, thinking that the vessel is giving me something, as opposed to I am the one pouring my essence and my awareness and the mood that I have conjured and swelled within me, and I've poured it into that. Which is then, all it's doing is just acting as a reflective surface that bounces it back to me. So that's how I would have categorized polyamory. And then with monogamy, I was categorizing it as, oh, it just is filled with restriction and you settle and all this other stuff. And what I was noticing is that there was, because it's still coming from the same source, which is the I amness that I have adorned myself with, there was a bleeding over effect of what was happening in what I categorized and castigated monogamy to be into the polyamorous state of saying like, oh, well, I just wanted to be fresh and I wanted to be new and I want polyamory to show up in this way, but then and the reason why this needs to show up like this is because monogamy does this. It restricts you, it keeps you, you're always settling, you're never actually getting what you want, all of this other stuff. And so then what was happening is that, and then it was transposing, obviously, because it's still coming from me as the source, into that realm. And so then here it is, I'm getting frustrated because I'm like, oh, I obviously need to meet somebody new or add this other guy to the roster or something like that, because this is just how this works. This is just how this works. Because obviously they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? So I'm thankful for this level of revelation, because what it has allowed me to tap into is understanding, and this is why I'm always saying, and I recognize everything that I share and everything that I give and everything that I express on these platforms, and even the people that I talk to in person, I'm taking my own medicine, because I recognize I have to be the living example of that. And so I needed to come into contact very clearly the ways in which I was giving away my power, the ways in which I was holding something higher than myself, to think that if I find myself in a monogamous, socially acceptable role, then I'll finally be recognized or happy or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, no, all of these things come from within. I am the one that is essentially pouring my essence out into it. And this is a massive breakthrough for me, because I'm able to see what I was calling polyamory from that style of engenderment was really giving me the opportunity to bounce back to me the type of moods and feelings that I want to exist and to swell and to circulate and to dwell within me on a continual basis. So as opposed to trying to add a new person to my roster, I am actually just welcoming and returning to the perception that I can conjure the feelings of exaltation, veneration, elation, deep satisfaction, joy, and all of these things are able to then circulate and exist in that full state of presence. And I see the reasons why I was looking to the other, thinking that the other they're the one bringing me joy. I have poured joy out of me, and they are simply returning it back. And this is what it means to be sovereign. We take full accountability for the thoughts that we think, the moods that we allow, the places that we reside on a continual basis. So this has now shifted in my own state of awareness that I am filled with this polyamorous mood, which shows up as the same elements and same moods and feelings that I would have called, that are all just complementing each other, all swirling, all existing, all at once, just playing and playing and playing and playing and playing. And then I'm able to take that as a singular mono entity who is housing the multidimensionality. You see how it's like, it's microcosm, macrocosm, like the all within the many within the all. This is why I think what's coming to mind is like My Hero Academia and how they had like, all for one and one for all. And they were trying to like pit them against each other, but they're one and the same. It's one and the same. All that is different is just the vantage point. It's just the perspective. So when we are able to still ourselves in this state of beingness, right here, right now, recognizing that what you perceive to be your past is actually still happening concurrently with where you are in this moment. So every time your mind drifts into a certain realm of something that you would have experienced, give it what it asks for, which is forgiveness, which is thanksgiving, which is grace, because without those moments, you wouldn't be here right now. You must, across time and space, you must continue to treat yourself well. That's all that we are ever asking of ourselves. I love you.